So you said, you get them young, you can mold them. So how's the molding going?
Look, I think it's back and forth. It's
you
like,
better answer this real carefully.
She has molded me, okay? Because Jamilla has taught me so much. You talk about me, like New York mentality, moving to VA, like not knowing anything, being socially awkward. Like this woman has changed my life. Like to me, moving in the South, getting mad, like why are people waving at me for no reason? Like
she used to get mad at people. I'm like, you mad because somebody want to talk to you?
Yeah. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and I'm so happy you came by. The Queerly Blax Show aims to normalize the everyday existence of Black, LGBTQIA+ individuals through an interview-style series with regular folks like you and me. So every week, a new guest shares their story and unique perspective on their existence as an LGBTQIA+ individual. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe, download, set your reminders to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Queerly Blax Show. I'm your host, Ashley. I'm here with some OGs. Quite honestly, they don't need an introduction, but we'll introduce them. Jamilla and Q in the building, y'all. Hey, y'all go tell people a little bit about yourself. They don't need to, you don't probably got to say much, but tell the people about yourselves.
Woo! Okay, so my name is Jamilla.
I'm Q.
We are a two-mom family. We're raising our daughters in Atlanta, Georgia. We create content about our family across all social media. And we've been creating content about 7-8 years now.
Yeah, since
2015.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm an OG supporter, so I know it's been a while. You know you've been on there a long time when you got to start doing certain videos over again, like when you got to do like we met over again, telling our story over again. You like, oh yeah, we've been on here a while. They can't even go back to the old stuff and watch it no more. We've been on here that long, so definitely an OG supporter. Thank y'all so much for what y'all do for this community. I think it's great. You guys are super transparent. You show every part of your journey, everything from personal stuff to family stuff to work stuff to stuff some people wouldn't talk about. So thank y'all for that, for being consistent and just continuing to show up, man. It's super incredible to see a consistent couple on YouTube and now in all the other spaces. So thank you. But we're gonna go back all the way to the beginning. Okay, so
let's do it.
When was the first time y'all knew y'all liked the ladies?
Ooh, for me, I gotta say 7. Like, I think it was like 7 years old. Like, you know, I used playing kissing cousins and stuff. I didn't want to play cousins.
Okay, so what did I know?
Yeah.
I would say like middle school, right? This gets like a little creepy. But anyway, you know, like, okay, like, you know, in gym, I wouldn't like to play gym, but like I'd be looking at the other girls and I think I'd be thinking about them, like what their hair smelled like and what they smelled like and what they did after school in a different way than like everybody else. I don't think nobody else was thinking about that.
I think creepy kind of got it. You hit the.
It's the truth, because I think everyone has those experiences. You learn a lot about yourself during them gym days.
I never ever wanted to know how somebody's hair smelled ever.
You never. You had don't sit on this podcast and lie. You told me my hair smelled good.
Yes, but I never wondered.
You told me my hair smelled good.
It was an observation. You said, "Oh, that's a pleasant smell."
Right.
Yeah, no,
so young.
I would be like, "Oh, she smells so good."
Yeah, nothing like the smell of a woman for sure. I only smell one woman right now though, but you know, yeah, man. So y'all were really young. Got it. When'd y'all come out?
For me, high school, but I did not have the choice to come out. I was outed. So yeah, that situation wasn't something that, you know, how I thought it was gonna happen. I actually never planned to coming out. So just, you know how we used to have letters back in the day. Parents found the letter box, and you know the letter box was to the ladies. So
roses are red, violets are blue.
Hey,
your eyes is beautiful. I want to kiss you.
Hey,
macking on the little ladies.
Yeah,
you know that's the only poem we knew back then. We didn't know much more than that, or just I like you. Like that's it.
Check yes or no. Do you like me?
And if y'all want that full story, y'all gotta go check it out on the YouTube channel.
I was about to say.
Don't give them nothing else. Don't give them nothing else. Go check it out on their YouTube channel. What about you, Jamilla?
I don't think I came out either. So Q was actually the first woman I ever dated, and my family was having a birthday party, I think for my mom.
Yes.
And so I just brought Q to the party, and everybody was up in a roar after the party. God.
Yeah, we had a very similar situation with my wife's family. Her family's super religious and the whole thing. And I don't even know, we still both don't know to this day, like what I did or like what interaction she and I had that gave like they're together. We were, but like we don't know what the exact moment was. But it was the same, it was a similar thing. And I've seen the video, so I know what happened. Y'all go watch the video to find out what happened. But one of her cousins texted her afterwards, after the dinner, after church, like the dinner, you know, you go to the dinner after the church.
Right.
So her cousin like texted her and was like, hey, you know, some people were curious about Ashley, you know, this like whole thing. So then we go to lunch with her cousin the next day, and her cousin is like sitting there. We're sitting at this lunch for like an hour and a half. She never says anything about it. And then finally, Rochelle was just like, yeah, so me and Ashley are together. Cousin's looking like, yeah, that's my wife. She don't play. She getting straight to the business. So yeah, same similar thing. They was all talking afterwards, like everybody, what's going on with this whole family talking. But you know how they do.
Right. Oh yeah, I know.
Still don't talk to some people since that birthday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ain't none of that.
It was a falling out.
Yes.
Most definitely. So Jamilla, then Q was your kind of, she was the full circle for you, for your whole little family.
Yes, yeah, definitely. When I first met her, what was it? I think it was the first time that I felt like, why are you looking at me like that? It was the first time like I felt like at home with someone, if that made sense.
100%.
Love me.
Yeah. So you guys talk about in I think it was I can't remember which one it was, how we met or Q&A that you guys did, and you talked about you guys have an age difference, and Q jokingly says, get them young, you can groom them.
You gotta mold
them. Grooming is problematic.
Right, mold them, because you're sensitive to that word. That's right. So you said, you know, you get them young, you can mold them. So how's the molding going?
Look, I think it's back and forth. It's
you better answer this real quickly.
She has molded me, okay? Because Jamilla has taught me so much. You talk about me, like New York mentality, moving to VA, like not knowing anything, being socially awkward. Like this woman has changed my life. Like to me, moving in the South, getting mad, like why are people waving at me for no reason? Like
she used to get mad at people. I'm like, you mad because somebody want to talk to you?
Yeah, I understand that. I'm from Jersey originally, so I get that. I mean, if we be cold, we trying to get where you trying to go and get in the house. Like people strange, they be stealing. Mind your business. It's cold. We got stuff to do. No.
she ended up, she like, teaching me the life or whatever.
I did.
PG, that's how it is. Yeah, we only 4 months apart. I'm 31. She's 32. She would roll her eyes if she was here and seen that, because she'd be like, it's the same age. You're gonna be 32 in a couple of months. Like you're tripping. But I'm still younger. So talk about like coming on YouTube. When did you guys come on YouTube? How long were you together before you decided to start creating content?
How long were we together? We were engaged
2 years, so probably 2 years.
Because we were engaged.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So really when I was coming out, I was 21, 22 at the time. And what was getting me is I couldn't find anyone like young, Black in corporate America. Like it was very few examples. And so I really wanted to see that. And at some point I was just like, we just have to build what we don't see. Mm-hmm. And so that's when we started sharing like our journey to the aisle, our wedding, behind the scenes, like the things that we would go through. And then we also started talking about just like topics, hot topics in our community.
Like still being like, we were like on an iPhone and a selfie stick. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes back to those days.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, and talk about that, just like, for one, just getting started and then just not having, the best everything and just deciding to start, you know what I mean? And then building from there.
Mm-hmm. Like even like trying to teach ourselves how to edit, because it's like, we could create this content. That's the easy part, but like, how do we get it out here? How do we make sure that people want to watch us and want to come back? So like I remember like the first video, which I cannot watch ever in life, that I cannot rewatch that video.
I won't delete it, but it's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. But it's just like I remember us being in our living room trying to set this up. Like, you know, you go through a phase of like when you edit, oh, like I want to take that out. Oh, I messed up a word and this and that. But then after you do it for so many years, you up your game, you up your equipment. It's like, it's more authentic for me to mess up a word. Like it's, you know, let me be me and stop editing out the real me to make this look perfect. Like, let's give them authentic material.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel you. And then as you guys progressed, one thing I always ask couples whose relationship is their content, how do you strike that balance of like, we're content creators, but we're also like a real couple, and like the co-mingling of it all? How do you manage it?
We never create content like when it's about solely like our marriage or what we're going through. That's not ever in real time, because social media is like for consumption, but some stuff we have to figure out. Right. So like we talked about a video where we talked about like, have we ever thought about divorce? And we tell this story about the one time we had a conversation about divorce. That was maybe like 6 months after it happened. So we're like processing it, getting through it, but then we still want to share the conversation because we know other people are going through the exact same thing.
Right. Yeah. We ever posted that video?
We never posted the divorce. I know we've talked about it. It was one time. I remember that conversation. So
it might be up there. Yeah, I think it's, you know, back to just you guys sharing like a lot of yourselves and your content and just being super transparent. I mean, everything from I know Jamilla, you did a series on your breast reduction surgery, and there are a lot of people who wouldn't talk about that. Was that something that you guys talked about before, or that, you know, you kind of always knew you wanted to share, or it just came as like a natural thing?
I knew I wanted to share it. And then also I know after everything that Q went through when she was pregnant with Harper, and her really leaning on YouTube and people to help her, like going through having a high risk pregnancy, she said, oh, I'm gonna share anything when it comes to Jamilla. And I was like, oh, since you done it, that was my turn. So we shared so much of my pregnancy. It was also the same thing. Like I would look at breast reduction videos and the girls would go in and then they would come back out and everything's hunky-dory. And I'm like, no, I need to know, like, were you able to use the bathroom afterwards? Like, I need to know, like,
the bandages, the scars, like, what happened, sis? Like,
girl, who bathing you, sis? So, like, I need to know. So that's why it was really important for me just to, like, if I see a space and I have capacity to fill it, like, I want to fill it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a family. To before we kind of get to you guys having children, but like, you're in a long-term relationship, which, you know, in this space is something that we're trying to get to, building a larger catalog of people who have longer relationships, because for so long people weren't even comfortable sharing this, you know, in our community, in the queer community, sharing their love because of all the hate that comes along with it. But the actual relationship, it's a regular relationship. So all the changes that happen in a long-term relationship, you know, I share with you guys, me and my wife have been together for 14 years. So I totally relate. Talk about how you guys navigate all the stages of life, right? So I think, Jamilla, you were early 20s. So you're still figuring out that part, and, you know, Q, you're a little older, but like still, like, it's like there's so much going on. What have been some of the like principles or core things that you guys have kept or built as you've gone through all the different changes?
I think for us, well, first, Q's a lot older, like a lot.
Girl. 5 years, okay?
A lot.
Whatever.
But I think it's been very important for us to always remember, sometimes people get in relationships and they become one another. So for us, it's always been very important to know we're individuals. We are also in a relationship. So we respect that relationship like an individual, but we also respect our feelings that we bring forth. So I know it's sometimes if Q's going through something, she doesn't need a wife in that moment. Maybe she just needs her best friend. And so I've shown up as a best friend. And sometimes it's been tough where what I always pray on and focus on and affirm is that I know we're going to change. I know things are going to happen. I know feelings are going to change. Emotions are going to change. I just always pray on us to always understand one another and always give each other that grace to get through those changes.
Right. So real. I can't stress that enough. So real. Yeah. And just not taking stuff personal, man. That's like,
baby.
You gotta be like, that ain't about me. That is not about me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Let that go.
I asked too. I say, what kind of day do you want to have today?
Or how you feeling today? Where did we wake up this morning? Did we wake up? Are we good? Are we okay? You know, like, yeah, it's interesting. I think just knowing that, like, who you marry, I think at the core is going to stay the same, but like they're going to change. Like, I remember even early on when I didn't always dress like this super masculine. I've always been like a tomboy, but like kind of converting all the way to the masculine thing. Like for my wife was kind of like, all right, you know, okay, you cut your hair off, you going, all right, you know, but even that, right? And her just letting me do that and not feeling like I'm a different person because like because I don't look exactly how I looked when we got together, right? But it's a lot of changes, just a lot of changes. You buy houses, you start having a family, just all these things that you have to navigate. So yeah, communication, guys, just keep open lines of communication, and you'll be fine. So then you have a family. You start, you know, you have your beautiful, beautiful children. How is that added to your relationship? Because I think a lot of times people talk about kids as if it's like this, like, oh my God, you're gonna have these kids. And granted, you can talk about having life as with toddlers, but the joy that children bring, you know, talk about that part.
I think like for me, Jamilla will always say, like, when I first met her, I was like, I wanted to have a baby. So like, you know, when I met her, like I was in that space in my life, like I'm looking for longevity. I'm ready to create a family. Like I'm ready to take the steps of life. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like having kids is like a dream come true. It's like even being able to do stuff, like we took them to the WNBA game and like them see them happy. It's like things that I don't remember being done as a kid that I'm giving my kid, or like I didn't have lobster till I met Jamilla, and then my kids had already tasted lobster. So it's just fascinating to see them grow and like to be able to pour into them, and then to like they become your little mini me's. So like when Harper says something, like if she sees me sad, I'm like, Mommy, you okay? And then, you know, it could be her, my feelings are driving me crazy, but she'll be like, you okay? You know, I still love you though. And it's like, you see, like, you know, I poured that into you, like to stop and ask if I'm okay. Like I'm teaching you those things. So it's like very rewarding.
How about you, Jamilla?
Motherhood has been the most challenging and rewarding thing. Motherhood got me in therapy.
Love therapy. Shout out to therapy. Shout out to all the therapists.
Yes.
Listen, okay? Yes, every Monday. Me and my therapist.
It's been amazing. We be figuring things out. Motherhood has expanded me in a way that I didn't think was possible. It brought forth like my biggest opportunities about my character I needed to work on, but it also brought forth like my biggest opportunity of how I want to change the world. We all have the ability to change the world. We see the things that we want changed. The biggest change is how we raise our children, because they go forth after us and they interact with people beyond us. And if we can like breed beauty and love and positivity in their lives and they share that with people, like that's like the biggest gift.
Right.
How do you keep your sense of self and like your identity or regain it after children?
For me, I know with Harper, although I did not carry Harper, I went through a depression. And with Holland, I went through postpartum anxiety. And it was really me coming to terms that who I was before would not come back, and that's okay. And that I was a brand new person. And I had to really like zero in on what makes me happy. What makes me happy is taking an hour to myself every single night in the bathroom, in the bathtub, and doing my skincare routine. It's so simple, but it's like brings me so much happiness and like centers me. And I just had to focus on that.
And for me, I am currently working on a rediscovery series because I am trying to find myself, because I did get completely lost in motherhood. I don't find time for myself at all. I'm always like with the kids already, like on call for them, like everything is around them. So I'm actually trying to rediscover myself. Because if you ask me my hobbies and stuff, I cannot give you anything that doesn't relate to like family or anything.
You just love being a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you love parenthood. And I think you know, it is a process. I know different people kind of journey through that. How old are your children again?
There are 1 and 4.
And do you feel like that's a good balance? We haven't talked about it widely, but like, you know, my wife's pregnant now. We're gonna have another kid, and we talk all the time about like when to have the second. We definitely ain't doing the 2 under 2 thing. Like, we're like, absolutely not. Do you feel like you guys got a good balance in terms of like one being a little bit more independent than the other once you had the second baby?
Yes, because Harper's helpful. Like, she can jump in and grab a diaper and a wipe. Mm-hmm. She can, you know, grab a toy, and then she understands like some actions Holland would get away with, so to speak, because she's still a baby, you know. Yeah. Like, if she smacks a cup on the floor, she knows like she can't do that. Like, she's just, you know, acting up because she doesn't know her words. So Harper will even tell Holland, use your words. Like, she don't got them yet.
I think we were 2 under 2 for a little bit. Were we 2 under 2? Or no, Harper was almost 3 right. when Holland was born. It was rough in the beginning because they are both small, they are both young. But I think with us, we just knew it was going to be rough, but that we wanted them to be close to age so that they could be best friends. Right. And so when we see them, we'll hope that they're best friends. So we see them like cuddling and talking to one another. It's so cute. They do try to plot against us, and I don't like that.
I plot against you.
Yeah, they plot against us. I see them in the corner whispering, what y'all whispering for? But it's just amazing looking at their relationship.
Yeah, they're finally at the age where they can appreciate each other's company. And it's not like they're not competing for our attention and stuff. They could just go in their room, watch TV together, and handle their own disputes over Barbies and stuff.
Got you. Yeah, that's dope. And then how do you guys keep your relationship in terms of like the time and finding space and for just your relationship to exist? So many dynamics to manage. How do you find a space for just your relationship?
Well, I think for one, we try to stay consistent with their bedtime. So like, that's just like, you know, after they go to bed, that's our time. But it's been a blessing because, you know, Jamilla's full-time content creation. I still work a 9 to 5, but I work from home. So we spend all day long, you know, we pop in, do lunch breaks when I have a light day, but most of the time we're just back and forth to each other's office, hanging out, like talking and stuff like that. So I think that has made it so much easier with kids that we still have 8 hours to ourselves throughout the day.
Yeah. No, that's dope. And that was I wanted to talk about that real quick too, is Jamilla becoming a full-time content creator. How was that transition for you in terms of your whole family, obviously, because it's transition for everyone, but then you just making the leap from, you know, corporate America and saying, I'm out.
I'm done. I had wanted to do it for probably about 4 years before I actually did it, and really just thinking, studying, researching how to go about it, because at first it didn't feel real. Then I started saying, maybe I want to do it. Then that changed to, I think I want to do it to, I am going to do this. So when I finally transitioned, making sure that we had the money saved up, that it made sense, that we had a management company, that things were lining up, discussing like healthcare. I wanted to make sure we got all of that, having an accountant, that we understood all of that on a very basic level, because my biggest thing is that I have to take care of my family. My family is not going to be sacrificed by content creation. Like, that's just never going to be the case. So to come here, we're now 6 months in it.
Right.
And it's been amazing. Through our partnerships, we've actually gone over what I would have made working, what I made last year. So that's been amazing. It's been a blessing. And the transition is, honestly, I'm a happier person because I did that for myself. I've been able to show up more for my wife and for my daughters because I was just in a real dark place at the job that I was at before.
Cool, man. Well, 2 more questions I got for y'all. One is, if you had a theme song for your life, what would it be?
Well, currently, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm part of the Beehive, and I'm gonna have
Break
to
my
go.
soul.
Break my soul.
That's a trump card. I've been saying that's a trump card.
No, that's for me right now.
Trump card. That's a trump card.
All right, I'll get something else.
That's a trump card.
Pull out a brand new song.
It speaks to me.
It's the one. It's the one.
I'm sitting right here with my laptop, my work laptop. She told me leave that, throw it off the table.
Okay, so before I met Sequina, my theme song was Kanye, Devil in a New Dress, because I was Casual Allure, and that's how I got my name. And now it's probably Kanye, I Wonder.
What's mine?
I gotta tell you, I gotta figure out mine and yours too.
I think like the song that always makes me happy, like recently, like within a year, that really resonates and I listen to it a lot, is the Go Appel, Closer to My Dreams.
I love that song.
Yes, that's a good song. No, that's a dope song. That's a good choice. I like that. I like that. Nice, man. Well, listen, what advice do you have for people who are having children in this community, who are going through their own queer journey, who are just trying to figure it out? What advice do you have?
For me, like you already said it, like communication. Like if you can communicate, accept change, and ask questions, you got it. Like,
sure.
I think what I would tell people for caring people is that when you carry another human, it's just to trust your instincts, like really to trust and believe in your body, and to have a doctor and a team that you absolutely trust, and to know your rights and the laws in the state. As far as like the same thing with relationships, is that communication and understanding things individually, because it's certain things that to Q are tried and true. And I had to tell her, like, the world is not black and white. It's not this or that. We got to come together and we have to learn things, because we bring a lot of things from like childhood trauma. And a lot of people aren't talking about that and breaking down those walls to truly understand one another. A lot of people are breaking up every year and every 2 years. If you have a new relationship every year and every 2 years, you really got to talk to yourself and understanding, do you know how to move through conflict with another person?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Tell the people where they can find you.
We are Jamilla and Q, JamilLaAndQue on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Where?
Nice. Y'all heard it from them first. Hey man, listen, I'm super grateful. Thank y'all so much for blessing the podcast with your presence. I appreciate it. Dropped all this knowledge today. And y'all already know, I'm your host, Ashley. This is the Queerly Blax Show. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode.